In a divorce, in the category of division of property, the very first step is to determine what is marital property and what is separate property. To paint with a broad brush, there are essentially three kinds of separate property. Any property you owned prior to the marriage, if you have kept it separate. Any property you've inherited during the marriage, if you've kept it separate. And any gifts that you have received during the marriage, if you've kept them separate. Once you call out what you think is the separate property owned by each spouse, whatever's left is your marital estate. And that is what is subject to division in a divorce process. Separate property is not subject to division. Now, if you notice, all three of those categories had the caveat, if you've kept it separate. You can turn separate property into marital property essentially by two processes, either by commingling it with marital property or treating it in such a way that it has gradually been transmuted from separate property into marital property. If you had $50,000 in a savings account when you got married, but during the course of the marriage you have put it into a joint savings account with your spouse, and there's now $100,000 in that bank account, it's commingled. It has lost its identity as separate property, because if you took hundreds and hundreds of dollar bills and put them out on a table, you couldn't tell which $100 bill was the one you owned prior to the marriage, which one you earned during the marriage, that kind of thing.